I'm Jeff Crawford with Quantum Light Shamanic Healing, and today I'm going to go over an intro to the tarot. So the tarot is a book of wisdom. Some would say it's the Emerald Tablets of Hermes. Some would say it's the Tree of Life put in pictorial form. I found it to be a combination of things from many traditions, and it is a book of wisdom as I have experienced it. It has been used as a card game. It's been used for fortune telling, although I don't believe that that is its purpose. And so by using the tarot, you have to remember pictures have a way of connecting with our subconscious. A picture is worth 1,000 words. And so people from any language, from any culture, from any background can look at these pictures and see something that goes beyond language barriers. It connects with our subconscious in such a way that it reaches us deeply and reminds us of who we are. The tarot is about our life's journey. The tarot is about you. It's about the self and your journey as the self, as a spirit incarnate in a physical form, navigating your way back into alignment with the divine. So the history of the tarot is pretty obtuse. If you read books and articles on the history of the tarot, they're vastly different, and yet most credible articles are going to acknowledge that. No one claims to be the ultimate authority on the history of the tarot because it's just not traceable past a certain point, and yet we know this all came from somewhere. And so we know that the tarot is influenced heavily by allegory. I think it's interesting that the Romans used to have parades that they called triumphi, and those triumphi parades were people dressed up as archetypes, mother, father, hero, villain, life, death, and so forth. And they were to represent all the aspects of the human experience, that are beautiful, that we all have in common. And so that's interesting to me, the Roman connection. And of course, then you get into it and you realize, the word tarot can be seen in several ways. You can actually rearrange the letters. If you were to put it in like the form of a wheel, and one of the pictures actually does. So tarot has been associated with the Egyptian royal road of life. When you rearrange the letters and you start with the R and you have rota, well, that's Latin for wheel. So we could presuppose that's the wheel with which we progress along the royal road of life. And then you have Torah, T-O-R-A, which is the law, the universal laws, the book of law. And so it is the laws with which we work while we're navigating with the wheel along the Egyptian royal road of life. And so it all comes down to how we're navigating, by what laws. Do we know the laws? Have we figured out how to discern them? And then you have influences coming from the Eleusinian mysteries. And some are quite blatantly depicted here, especially in the Rider-Waite deck. You also have lots of Hermetic information here. You also have a lot of alchemaic information here. Astrology is involved in the tarot. Numerology, this is how I got into numerology, was through learning the tarot. And then you have to know something of spiritual traditions. And the beauty is that any tradition you're going to be involved with is going to be represented here. I think it's heavily influenced by the Kabbalah, but you're going to find Buddhist principles, you're going to find Hindu principles, you're going to find Christian, scriptural principles here. Literally, it is beyond our organized religions, and yet it seems like our own esoteric and religious influences through the beginning of time are all evident in these cards as they're trying to bring us back to the same truths, to the same principles, to how we navigate our lives and what our purpose is. So as a shaman, I could care less about fortune telling, nor do I think that is the purpose of the tarot. As a shaman, I'm connecting to the spiritual aspects. I'm connecting to you, the querent, as a spirit. I am connecting with you as a spirit, and I am connecting to spirit, right? So when I'm looking at the tarot, I'm looking into your soul. I am seeing you as a soul navigating, physical, forces in your material world, whether that be people or circumstances. And so we're able to see, where you're at on your life's journey, what you may not be consciously aware of. We're able to help you determine how you can go about affecting the outcomes that you desire, realizing that the tarot is not fatalistic, and I think that's the magic of the tarot. It's the magic of astrology and these other things too, is that it's not meant to tell you what's going to happen. It's meant to tell you what you're working with so that you know how you want to affect what you want to happen. If you're playing a regular card game, for example, half the trick is knowing if you have a losing hand. If you know you have a losing hand, you're still in the game. You need to bluff. You're paying attention to what everybody else has and what's plausible that they would believe that you might have if you can fake it. You could still win that game, but it begins with you knowing what you're working with. And so as a shaman, my interest is more in empowering you, enabling you, giving you some things to work with as I see you in your life's journey, so that not only are you able to navigate your physical material circumstances, but also your spiritual evolution. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, like this video, and share it with somebody you think might enjoy it. So to learn more and to work with me, go to my website at www.nashvilleshaman.com.